Welcome back, guys. Today I'm going to be discussing whether you should use water or milk in your protein shakes. So for me right now I'm on cut, so every calorie counts. And this is 150 calories and this is 0 calories. So this is something you really need to consider. If you're bulking, I really recommend going for the milk. There's no reason why you shouldn't use milk because every extra calorie doesn't really count. You're not really micromanaging your calories when you're bulking. And you're also going to get extra protein, it's going to be extra calories as well. So this is great value milk. It's going to be 150 calories per cup and it's going to be extra 8 grams of protein. Now if you use something like Fairlife, you might have a little less calories and it's probably going to be about 13 grams of protein per cup. But that's a lot after you consider if you go like 2 cups in your protein shake, if you have a big shake, or if you don't want to use as much protein powder, you just want to do 1 scoop, you can supplement the other protein coming from just milk, which is a real food, and may be better for you, and you may be able to handle it better if you feel like you digest milk better than just having protein. Now for me, I feel like having milk in my protein shake is going to bloat me even more, but I feel like my body's going to take longer to digest the protein because you're having more protein come from whey and casein, which is also found in milk, but also from your protein powder. For me personally, I like having my protein shakes night before bed, so the bloating really doesn't matter to me. But if you have your protein shakes throughout the day, you know, right after your workout, if you work out around noon or in the morning, you may not want to be bloated for the rest of the day. So that's another reason why I might opt for water, because when I use water in my protein shakes, I feel way lighter, my stomach doesn't bloat up as bad, and overall just feel better. But if you're having a protein shake before bed, there are benefits I think to having the milk, especially if you're on bulk, because you're getting extra calories before bed. It's going to help you add more weight, and it's also going to increase the protein you're consuming. So that 40-gram protein shake that you're having with just water and protein, if you add in that milk, you're going to probably get another 150 calories plus 8 to 13 grams extra protein. So win-win there. Now if you're on cut, you're going to be watching every calorie you consume because you're trying to lose weight, but you want to make sure you're keeping your protein high. Usually you're going to shoot for 0.5 grams to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. This holds true especially if you're under 200 pounds, because after you get, a little over 200 pounds, that rule doesn't really hold as much weight. But when you're going for a cut, you're going to keep your protein high, and the reason you're keeping your protein high is because you don't want to lose muscle. If your protein intake is pretty low, your body's going to get rid of muscle because muscle is very taxing on the body. But if you can keep your protein intake relatively high, 0.5 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, you can kind of mitigate some of the loss. If you have a good diet going, you're probably already hitting your macros across the board, and using water is just going to be a way to just cut out that extra fat, that extra calorie that's coming in from the milk, and you're going to be able to get some good protein in with the whey. Now whey supplement, I recommend just eating your meals and having that in with real food, but there's nothing wrong with using whey because whey is very bioavailable. Your body's going to be able to use whey protein very well. I like using Optimum Nutrition. You can do your own research. The brand of protein does matter. A lot of people don't think it does. Some people will find that some cheaper brands wind up protein spiking where they wind up saying that they have 30 grams of protein per scoop, but that's not really the case because they're protein spiking and the amino acids are not really being able to be utilized by your body. So be sure you're doing your own research on the brand of protein you're using. And another reason to consider using milk over water is flavor. We all know that water with whey protein kind of tastes like cold, watered down hot chocolate, and a lot of people may not enjoy that. However, you're doing this for results and not for taste. But one of the good things about being able to use water and on a cut is the ability to use blender bottles and not having the clumps. We're gonna go ahead and put water in the blender bottle. I'm gonna double scoop this. And I recommend when you're using a blender bottle, if you give it a little bit of a swirl before you start just shaking, it'll actually keep it from clumping and getting stuck at the top. So if you just give it a little swirl like this, then you start shaking it, you won't have those clumps at the top of it. But what this boils down to is personal preference and personal choice. If you want to allow in your diet for the extra calories, if you're on cut, to use milk if you think it tastes better, by all means go for the milk. There's nothing wrong with that. You're going to get extra protein anyway. It's going to help you keep more muscle as you're in a caloric deficit. Now, if you want to feel less bloated throughout the day and you don't really want the extra calories and you're already getting enough protein in your diet, I really recommend going for the water. Now, if you're bulking, I really recommend going for milk all the way 100% because you're getting extra protein to help build more muscle and you're getting more calories to help you gain more weight because you're trying to put on size. So there's no reason you should be using water if you're bulking. However, when you're cutting, you do have the option between water and milk. If you got any questions, please comment them down below. Hope you guys have a good morning, a good night whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next one.